From shocking infidelity allegations to terrifying mishaps in the kitchen and the painful passing of close companions and guides, Alex Guarnaschelli might shine on screen with her lively charm, but behind the scenes, her life has been filled with sorrow and struggle. Back when Alex Guarnaschelli was beginning her journey as a chef, professional kitchens were far from welcoming to women. In the early 1990s, she traveled to Burgundy, France, determined to learn from top-tier culinary masters. But the kitchens she trained in were known for their harsh environments, where physical and verbal abuse from executive chefs was common, and Guarnaschelli often found herself targeted simply for being a young woman breaking into a male-dominated field. At a 2023 event hosted by Barnard College's Francine A. Lafrac Foundation Center for Wellbeing, Guarnaschelli opened up about the pressure-filled environment she faced while working at the Michelin-starred Guy Savoy restaurant. She recounted how, on her first day, a chef greeted her with blunt words that made the tone of the experience immediately clear. "I can't figure out what's worse, that you're a woman or that you're American." Guarnaschelli remained in the demanding role of an unpaid apprentice for several months. It wasn't until 4 years later that she advanced to sous chef at another one of Guy Savoy's establishments. Yet, despite the promotion, her authority was often dismissed by fellow kitchen staff, a challenge she faced largely because she was a woman in a leadership position. In a 2007 interview with Home & Garden, she shared, "To get 10 French whippersnappers to listen to an American female authority figure, I don't recommend it. Unless you have Wellbutrin, I don't recommend it." Back in 2006, Alex Guarnaschelli was leading a seafood class at New York's Institute of Culinary Education. One of her students that day was Brandon Clark, a lawyer exploring a new direction in life. He persuaded Guarnaschelli to let him assist part-time at Butter, the popular restaurant where she had been executive chef since 2003. As they worked together, a romantic connection quietly began to form. Although Clark eventually chose not to pursue a culinary career, his interest in Guarnaschelli didn't fade. Within a year, the two were married and preparing for the arrival of their first child. However, the relationship would face growing strains. By the time they divorced in 2015, Guarnaschelli had already cemented her place on the Food Network. Rumors swirled in the press, pointing to possible infidelity by Clark, though Guarnaschelli has never addressed those claims publicly. Following the separation, she was granted full custody of their daughter, Ava. Through multiple appearances on Guy's grocery games, Alex Guarnaschelli developed a close friendship with fellow chef Carl Ruiz, a vibrant, larger-than-life personality known for his quick wit and love of food. Ruiz first gained attention on the Food Network in 2013, when Guy Fieri spotlighted his New Jersey eatery, Marie's Italian Specialties, on an episode of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
This is like culinary Disneyland, and this is Goofy.
Hello!
Not long after his initial Food Network appearance, Ruiz became a familiar face on shows like Guy's Grocery Games and Guy's Ranch Kitchen. In 2019, he launched a new restaurant, but tragedy struck just months later. In September of that year, Ruiz passed away at just 44 years old, leaving his loved ones and culinary peers stunned. Among those deeply affected was Guarnaschelli, who shared an emotional tribute on social media upon learning of his passing, writing, "This man was somehow fatherly, comforting, wise, reckless, brilliant, wickedly funny, and unique, all rolled into one. My life will be lonelier without him. Love you, Carl." Ruiz's sudden passing was later attributed to cardiovascular disease, the result of severely clogged arteries. Becoming a chef wasn't always Guarnaschelli's childhood ambition, but the culinary world was undeniably part of her upbringing. Her mother, Maria, was a renowned cookbook editor based in New York City, and she immersed Alex in the flavors of traditional Italian-American comfort cuisine. Maria's deep love for food, tireless work ethic, and strong, inspiring presence left a lasting mark, all qualities that Alex would come to embody herself.
But also it was training for all my Food Network work, I feel like.
When Maria died in 2021 at age 79 due to complications from heart disease, Guarnaschelli lost not only her mother, but also her most influential mentor. In the wake of her passing, Guarnaschelli paid tribute to her on social media, sharing heartfelt words to celebrate her mother's legacy, writing, "She was the only person who called me Al. I don't believe in aliens, but I do believe in the afterlife. She is so with my dad right now. I will miss her soufflés, her endless curiosity, and the smell of her perfume in the room. Love you, Mom." Guarnaschelli has always taken an active role in parenting, but the early days of motherhood hit her harder than she expected. Her intense need to be constantly present for her daughter initially came at the cost of her own mental and emotional health. At that point in her life, she had already proven herself in elite kitchens across Paris and was starting to find her footing on Food Network. But despite being a self-described adrenaline junkie, Guarnaschelli found herself completely unprepared for the challenges of being a new mom. The night after Ava was born, Guarnaschelli became fixated on the baby monitor, terrified something might go wrong. Her anxiety escalated to the point where she abandoned the monitor altogether and lay on the floor next to the crib, just to be sure Ava was still breathing. Exhausted and overwhelmed, she feared that in trying to protect her daughter, she might lose herself entirely. In a moment of panic, she picked up the phone and called her father. Years later, she opened up to E! News, saying, "I can almost start crying remembering how this feels. I said, she's going to be fine, but I'm not." He's like, "Just go to your room and go to bed." And it was sort of like that nudge I needed in the right direction. In 2020, wedding plans seemed on the horizon for Guarnaschelli once more, following her engagement to fellow chef Michael Castellone. Their connection began when Guarnaschelli visited a restaurant where she knew the server. Impressed by the steak she ordered, the server encouraged her to meet the chef behind the dish, Castellone. When Guarnaschelli stepped into the kitchen to praise him, an immediate spark ignited between them. After dating for several years, Castellone proposed. Guarnaschelli expressed excitement about organizing a large celebration, but by February 2022, the engagement had been called off. Neither has delved deeply into the reasons behind the split, though Castellone offered a brief comment to Closer, stating simply, wishing her nothing but the best. Guarnaschelli took a more candid approach. During an Instagram Q&A, she confessed that she wasn't handling the breakup well and that pizza had become her comfort food through it all. She also shared a bit of wisdom with her followers, writing, "Part of life is being alone and part of life is being lost. Some people say that life is what happens in those in-between moments anyway. Give it some thought and always bet on yourself."
I've decided that my life is about the pursuit of flavors.
In 2024, Guarnaschelli's solid standing with Food Network faced a setback when she was reportedly let go from her role on The Kitchen. While she still had other shows on the network to rely on, her exit from The Kitchen appeared to be anything but amicable. After Food Network removed her from the show's online cast list, Guarnaschelli hinted that she had been dismissed. Following the controversy, she kept her composure and shared a selfie on Instagram with the caption, "It's Monday, people. Don't let the small stuff get to you. Have a donut and coffee in your car. Hang in there." A few months later, Guarnaschelli secured a multi-year deal with Food Network, signing on for several new projects. In 2022, Food Network launched Guarnaschelli's own competition series, Alex vs. America. However, by the second season, her determination took a painful turn when she accidentally severed the tip of her middle finger during a high-stakes brunch challenge.
Ow! And poop, I nicked my finger. I cut myself.
Unsurprisingly, the culprit behind Guarnaschelli's injury was the mandolin, a handheld slicer prized for creating perfectly thin, even vegetable cuts, but notorious for its ability to nick fingers just as easily. After the accident, Guarnaschelli quickly pressed the bleeding finger against a kitchen towel, received medical attention, and headed right back to cooking, now sporting a protective latex glove. Though the injury disrupted the precision of her dish and cost her precious minutes, she managed to stay focused and finish strong. As for her finger, however, it was never quite the same.